Welcome to A Shot of Ag. I'm your host, Rob Sharkey. Agriculture is definitely a profession that you have to evolve. You have to stay on top of your game. And today's guest has done just that. Today we're talking with Brad Forkner. How you doing, Brad?
I'm absolutely wonderful and tickled to be here.
Oh, okay. I see you're a Chiefs fan.
If you go back, Chiefs were in the Super Bowl the second year, right?
Okay.
I wore my same Chiefs sweatshirt 25, 27 years in a row waiting for my Chiefs to get back to the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
That's the dedication it takes to be a farmer.
Nobody cares. Nobody likes the Chiefs. Now, the Bears are doing well, so that's
Bears
the
are
only
doing
reason
well.
we're bringing up football.
Yeah.
Okay. You're from Cherry, Illinois, very small town. I don't know, under 500?
400.
Okay.
Birthplace of workman's comp.
Unfortunately, yes. The Cherry mine disaster, what, 260?
250 or 60 made it
Yeah.
out. 250 or 60 did not.
Yeah. That was early, around 1900s, right?
Yeah, 13 maybe.
Okay.
November the
Yeah.
8th.
Horrible.
Horrible.
It's still referenced every once in a while, like, just in conversation and that, but does it get brought up much in the town of Cherry?
Every so often they'll go
Yeah.
back and have, there's actually a guy that drew built a square, what do you call it?
Monument there?
No,
Like a
scale model of the whole town back when that was there.
Oh, okay.
And so the slag pile, which typically are completely full of iron, somebody's got enough calcium out there that's full of trees again.
The big pile.
The big pile,
Oh,
we
you're
call
talking-
it the Cherry
it's-
Mountain.
It does look like a mountain if you're, driving
Yeah,
down the
but
interstate.
it's a slag
now.
pile, yeah.
Okay, and you could mine that if you wanted to.
You could probably go still down in there,
Okay,
yeah.
or maybe we'll
We
just
pay
leave it.
mine subsistence insurance,
Oh, still? Yeah.
still.
You aren't settling, are you?
No, but the veins were 230 and 500 feet down
Oh, okay.
and went out about 1.25 miles.
Yeah. You ever go to that Rips Chicken?
Yeah.
That's in Ladd. I haven't
Yeah.
been there in years. All right, focus, Brad. We're
All right.
talking about you. Okay, you are a nutrient management specialist. What does that mean?
Well, I guess what it means is when I was in college and I hated chemistry and they tried to keep me awake long enough to take a quiz,
Yeah.
eventually that's how I make my living. Life is chemical exchanges, right?
Okay.
Every day. So I started out in the seed business. Then I said, you know what transitioned through the seed business was they were giving away the agronomy to get the seed sales away from me. So I said, I need to change my game, keep up, get in or get out, right? Stay relevant. And so I I worked for UAP, United Agri Products.
Oh, yeah.
And so we learned then, typically most people don't always think about it. If you're raised in Monsanto, which is now Bayer, most of that
For
stuff
now.
was raised
We'll see.
on that chemistry.
When this airs, it might not be Bayer anymore, but we'll see.
Yeah. You want to back that up, cut it out?
No,
Oh, okay.
I think it's humorous.
So anyway, when you think about it, each company's genetics is raised with all of their own chemistry.
Yeah.
So there is a bent for that to perform better in that company's chemistry. Now I'll go ahead and open up the veil just a little bit and talk about black box money. Can I do that?
I have no damn clue what you're talking about, but I'm enjoying it.
Yeah, well, so each company comes in there and each rep would come into us one at a time at a meeting.
Okay.
And he said, they're on me to sell more residuals. And
Yeah.
if we sell more residuals, I'll give you a better deal here on this thing that I'm priced a little high on. So what you need to do is you put my residuals out with somebody who doesn't normally respray. We'll take $20,000 out of the respray money and take it off the upfront cost. That'll put you back in the marketplace and that'll keep both of us employed.
Oh, okay. Well, it sounds like a good deal for everybody but me.
Well, when it comes to you, if I
Yeah.
like you, I'll sell you the generics that I work.
That's a problem. None of my salesmen like me.
We have some of that going on.
Yeah.
I call that basic American greed. That's why I'm now an independent.
So you don't answer to anybody.
My wife,
Oh, yeah, I've been there.
Yeah.
Is she a nice lady?
she absolutely is.
Okay.
I got two ladies that no man on earth probably deserved.
Okay. Well,
And some
explain
people
that.
can get I lost my first
Yeah.
wife to Lou Gehrig's back in 2006. Spent the next 5.5 years straightening out all the bad things that was going on with me so that I could convince another lady that it would be the best thing she could do to help me finish out life.
Okay, well, that's fantastic. Does she have any vision problems?
Yeah, she sure does. Without the glasses.
Sorry, I'm sorry, Brad. You're originally from Nevada, Missouri, correct?
Yes.
Yeah, we know where that's at. We actually shot this show in Nevada, Missouri one time. Yeah, you weren't there. Bunch of ne'er-do-wells.
Yeah, well,
Hooligans?
actually, I went to Metz, which
Metz.
is about 9 miles north and west of Nevada.
Yeah, so they don't like each other.
And, well, they do now because they all go to school together.
Eh,
But when I was there, we had 10 kids in my graduating class.
Okay, all right.
And to be in the top 10% didn't give you much leeway.
All right. Focus, Brad.
All right, I'm focused.
You went to school in what, Mizzou?
Mizzou,
Okay,
1972 to 1976.
what were you studying there?
Well, I thought I wanted to be a veterinarian until I started taking chemistry.
Yeah.
Then I thought, I think I want to be an animal scientist and go home and raise livestock until I got to my senior year when I was getting ready to take the anatomy and physiology of animal reproduction from Dr. Billy Neal Day.
Okay.
And his weekly quizzes were harder than most people's hourlies. And my dad wasn't going to let me go 5 years, so I made sure I had enough agronomy hours that I could still get out of there. So before they gave dual degrees, I actually have enough hours for animal science and agronomy.
But you couldn't get one back then.
They wouldn't give you both. You had to
Okay.
declare one way or the other.
You should
about
call
that.
them and see if they do it now.
I should do that.
Yeah. We know people.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, back then we had to punch cards to run the computers, right? You'd run 700 cards and you punched one wrong. You'd have to dig down to 700, retype it, put it back in, see if that was the only mistake you made.
Do you know what he's talking about half the time? Okay.
All right.
Punch cards, yeah. Now we have phones. We can do all
You
that
have
on your
phones?
phones. Yes.
Did you ever have crank phones?
No. But I had the dial, but
No,
not
we
the
had
crank.
cranks through the first two pig sales.
Like the old
Like-
military
Yes,
ones?
longs, shorts, and longs.
Those are actually worth quite a bit of money online.
Yes.
Do you know why now? Because
Why?
people will like hook it up to their buddy and crank it, and
cranky?
they shock the heck out of them.
Yeah, it's good for fishing.
Where the hell were we? Okay. All right. Hold up.
All right.
Let me ask some questions here. Okay, so your senior year of college. Tell me about starting the farm there.
So there was an opportunity to lease 1,200 acres that came with 200 cows for cash rent.
Uh-huh.
And knowing how hard it was to come up with ground, I jumped into it. So I farmed Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday. Went to college Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, carried 17 hours, 180 miles apart.
So back then, 1,200 acres, that's, I don't know, the equivalent to 6,000, 7,000 now, maybe?
It was an undertaking.
It
We
was
also
a
had
big
some
deal.
sows, yeah.
Yeah. Like how big of a planter did you have?
6 row.
Whew.
And then we went to an 8.
Oh, big time.
And back then, your anhydrous, you actually had a Clark chisel plow with a tank on it, and you filled the tank, you didn't pull the tank.
Okay, yeah. Oh, that sounds
And you went
like
in
you could
with
clear the sinuses real easy.
You went in with a 2.5 ton truck, got your dry fertilizer, and you scoop shoveled it into the planter.
Oh, that sounds horrible too.
And it was a lot of work.
Yeah. Good thing you had pro boxes back then.
Yeah.
So not just 1,200 acres, you had what, 200 cows?
200 cows.
No, this wasn't dairy though. This was
No, those were
cow-calf.
beef, all Angus,
Okay. And 80 sows.
80 sows.
So you were farrowing 80?
Fairwind 80 sows, yeah. My brother was one of the past presidents National Pork Board. I grew up in the pig business.
Okay.
And so he was all Durocs, had a few Hamps, so I came in there with
The
Chester
red ones.
Whites. He had the red ones.
Yeah. I like the
And,
whites myself. That's what we raised. Yeah.
Whites are fine.
Yeah.
They don't have the marbling and or the meat tenderness of the colored pigs, but they're okay. They grow fast.
That's an opinion. Okay, so
All right.
I can't imagine going to school and farming that big. Tell me what happened with it going into the 80s.
So what happened was I got out and interest was about 9%. We did okay for a couple of years.
It's a high
And then
enough.
we went to 11, 12, 13. We still kind of holding it together. Then we hit a drought, and 400 acres of corn averaged 30 0.9. And about that time, interest was going to 18, eventually topped out at 21. And I'm sitting there with a wife and one little kid, and we're sitting there across the table and said, is there anything we can legally do to turn 21% interest? And we decided the best thing I could do was to pay everybody off before I went out backwards. I went on the road as a contractor for popcorn in 7 states for a company out of Nebraska.
All right, hold it, because I mean that says a lot about you. Because I mean back then it was we're getting dinked by the banks and all that. Just wrap it up, and who cares who gets left holding? But you paid everybody off.
Everybody got paid off. After I left the farm, we were paying $500 a month at 18% interest on not a whole lot of salary, but we paid it off.
Okay, okay. So you're selling popcorn. Like, are you selling? I don't know. What do you mean? You're not selling like bag popcorn. You're out of the field?
I was getting the people to grow it.
Yeah.
I monitored it. I told them what to expect for harvest tonnage. I decided which plant it was going to go to. The white went here, the large kernel went here, the pre-pop stuff that was going to California went out to western Nebraska. In the off season, I actually ran in and ran the plant. So I learned how to run destoners, how to run gravity tables, how to run polishers, how to run the different screens, because we also had dry edible beans. And if you go in there at the right time, you catch enough dry edible beans for the whole winter. Just bag them off on the side for yourself.
Okay. But back then, though, that popcorn, that plant didn't stand up very well.
It did not.
Did you?
And in western Nebraska, it would fall down, and when you had the header down there, you picked up a lot of sand.
Yeah.
Thus the destoner.
Oh, okay, yeah. Apparently that's improved quite a bit.
A bunch.
Has it?
A bunch.
So if you shouldn't really worry about corn falling down if you're growing popcorn now?
They're doing better.
Okay. Well,
I won't say it won't fall down, but they're doing better.
That's what they say about this show.
Yeah.
Okay, so how long did you do that, sell the popcorn?
So I did popcorn for 3 or 4 years. Went through the pick year, had an interesting experience in western Kansas.
Nobody knows what that is, the pick year.
Payment in kind for not planting.
That was it wasn't a subsidy program, it was a ag program, right?
It was taking stored grain out of CCC and replacing what you would have grown.
Okay.
And so that 1 year, popcorn did not count as corn against your corn base. So we were going to plant popcorn for silage.
Oh.
Hit another drought.
Oh.
So then it was my job to go back out and see, could we get some of this popcorn brought back in, because we're going to be short of popcorn as well. So I'm out northwest Kansas, planted at 12,500.
That's really low.
That's really low, even for out there, because it doesn't rain. And I'm trying to set a John Deere 55 with a 2-row 38-inch corn head that the deck plates had not been moved in 15 years.
It's a myth. You don't ever need to move those. Yeah.
So it was a myth. Anyway, the experiences from doing that got me into every type of irrigation, non-irrigation, clays, sands, rolling hills, blow sand, heavy clays. That's when I got interested in all the different types of agriculture. That has served me well.
Okay, I don't know what, I'm just going to move on because there's a time limit and you got a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
Tell me about getting into starting your business, the nutrition management.
So what I did was I'd been in the seed business, talked about being at UAP. That got rolled into crop production, which is now Nutrient.
Was that when you said my uncle was a dealer for you?
Yeah, when I first moved to Illinois, I was working for the Maize Seed Company out of Granville, which is up there north of McNabb, south of Spring Valley up in
My uncle Harley Rediger from Tulane.
Your Uncle Harley.
Tulane, Illinois.
Your Uncle Harley taught me how to whittle.
He was a character.
He was a character.
Yeah, he was a great guy. Sadly, he passed away, but he was a fantastic guy. All right, so
anyway, I'm sitting here working with the technical services person for Loveland. And Loveland was the private side of UAP, which is now probably a lot of what they still move through Nutrient. And so we're doing 12 things one way, 3 the other way. I get 36 new looks, and I'm saying, man, I like these things over here. I hope I get sell those next year.
Okay.
And he says, guess which ones have more margin? Not the ones you're pointing at.
Well, what did?
Too many of today's ag companies and because I'm old and crotchety, I'll just go ahead and tell you what I believe. I believe that they're totally stockholder driven. It's all about the margin. There are better things than most of the farmers will ever see. And I made that statement, and I got a tap on the shoulder, and I was told, if that is your philosophy, I bet you ought to go do that.
So you're saying there's stuff out there that is much better than what we're using, but the money's not there. It's like the theory that there's actually a cure for cancer, but they're not releasing it because they're making too much money treating it. Okay. All right. Well, I want the good stuff.
That's why I formulate from scratch.
Okay.
What's in your soil? What's in your plant? Have you validated it? What are we going to do next? How many times you're going to be in the field? Here's your options.
And
You get to this year now, we went the other way. Would you rather raise 260 bushel corn and make 50 cents, or would you rather raise 200 bushel corn and make 75?
I don't want to math right now.
Well, you can actually make $20 an acre more raising less
Okay.
if you put in less input.
Sounds like less work too.
Less work
Yeah.
and
But
get
that-
rid of the glut.
But okay, and maybe this is just because I've been inundated with the advertisements over the year. Then you're deleting your soil.
No, I didn't say don't take care of it.
Okay.
I said chase the bushels that make you money.
Yeah.
Don't chase the ones that don't.
Okay.
Too many people don't know their actual cost of production. When
No.
I ask somebody, how much corn can you raise and make 50 cents a bushel? They don't know that number.
Generally, the answer is it'll work out.
It'll work out.
Yeah. Half the time it does. Okay. Tell me about what this thing is.
So I had for 3 years been using the LeafTech scanner.
Yeah.
Little bigger machine, does a wonderful job, and the price to rent that every year, and I won't say what it is, but it was substantial.
Price of a car?
Price of one when I started driving.
Oh, okay.
Right? This machine came out, I started looking at it back last December. This is the second year, maybe third year for this thing to actually be out. You open this up, you put your leaf in there, and you got a little app on your phone. You say, ready to go. You put it in, this is corn, this is over at the Sharkey place, this is the back 40, whatever it is. I can do one and tell you what's in that one. It's not really representative of what's going on.
Yeah.
So what we typically do is we'll go by and we'll catch 15. Within 15 seconds of catching number 15, I've got an average already back on my phone.
So you can see what that plant is needing.
What it has and what it needs.
Okay. So, I mean, we work like with the Hefty brothers quite a bit too, and they do like the paper punch thing.
Yeah.
Is it the same concept?
So yeah, they're sending in pieces of leaf,
Yeah.
and some of this, in my opinion, because of how does soil work, right? You're looking at color spectrums. Every nutrient has a color spectrum.
Uh-huh.
How do we make fireworks?
We've asked China to make them.
Well, you take, if you want a yellow one, you use sulfur. If you
Okay.
want a blue one, you use copper.
Okay.
And so you find those patterns within soil, you find those within leaves. The denser the pixelation, the more there is. So this will give me an NPK, this will give me, you know, your zincs, your sulfurs, your manganese, your magnesium, this will give me boron, this will even give me molybdenum.
That one's a new one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Molybdenum and cobalt help form all nitrogens.
Oh.
Nickel makes the ureas work, so if you're using something called urea or UAN and you're not using nickel, you're not activating the ureas.
See, all I want to worry about is nitrogen. I just want to NP and K. That's all I want to worry about. I don't want to have to worry about all this stuff. You're making it difficult on me.
I'm trying to make you money in a 1 gallon package.
Oh, okay. So
You
is this,
add water to your house. We figure out what needs to go in there. We
Yeah.
have that discussion. How many times you're going to go out? Well, if I've got one chance, I can either put something on the seed, in the box, if you have liquid, and a lot of Illinois does not. Most of Nebraska does.
you mean on a planter?
On the planter.
Yeah. I might argue
It would
with
slow you down.
I think I would say over half have liquid
Do
on
you?
a planter in my neighborhood.
Well,
that's all I know.
Then
Yeah.
you're progressive.
Yeah. But the the application they're putting on the seed has come a long ways.
Yes.
Is that?
So we started this, well, we started working with the boys when the soy dust first came out as a lubricant, as a food source, as some amino acids.
Okay.
Then that started getting some biology added to it.
Mm-hmm.
We have expanded that now, bringing in the pecan fiber, which is a 66,500 antioxidant.
The pecan, the tree, the
the
nut.
shells
Okay.
off of it.
And you're putting that where?
I'm putting that in the planter box because it and the soy dust both have a negative charge that will hold it to the seed.
Uh-huh.
There's enough lecithin that's added to the protein on the soy side. There's enough oil still left on the pecan side that if we can run that through a precision machine and come out 100% on singulation where we need to be, know it's going to stick to the seed. So now we came in there and we're putting 4 plant growth regulators in there.
Mm-hmm.
We're putting 4 bacilluses in there. We're putting 6 micronutrients in there. We're going to start now putting in the biopesticides, the biofungicides, the algae you're hearing about. Some of those kind of things can all go in at one time.
All in the seed coating.
All in your planter box seed coating.
Well, then we don't need liquid anymore. I'm going to take that off. I'm going to put that on eBay tonight.
All right, take
Yeah.
that off.
Okay.
Now, take your insecticide box that should be on there that nobody has and nobody uses.
The planter was bought without them.
And that's what I'm telling you. See, then we could put dry humics and sulfur and all of your micronutrients in the granular form, drop them in for about 1/3 the cost you're paying for your liquid EDTAs.
Okay. Boy, this is a lot to digest. You love this stuff, though,
I love
don't you?
this stuff. This is my life. This is my element.
Ah, I gotcha. Okay. All right, well, I mean, if people want to find you and ask you questions, where do they go? What's your TikTok?
So I don't have a TikTok.
Shocker.
Shocker.
Yeah. Where do they find you?
They find me on LinkedIn
Yeah.
at my name, Bradford A. Forkner. They find me on Bradford Forkner on Facebook. They find me by my phone number, 815-257-8463 on WhatsApp.
Uh-huh.
You can find me with that same number on Snapchat.
Okay.
And my email, you see this little NMS, Nutrient Management Specialist. It's Brad at Nutrient Management Specialist, plural, S on the end of specialist.com, because without that, somebody had already taken it.
You know how easy it would be to find you if you were on TikTok?
Well, it probably would be.
Yeah. You do love this, you can tell. But I mean, you're really old. How much longer are you going to do this?
My bride and I have that discussion daily.
Yeah.
There used to be 3 things I did when I got up in the morning.
Oh God.
You look in the mirror.
Yeah.
Can I compete?
With
Am
what?
I relevant?
Okay.
And is it fun?
Okay.
4 months ago, I read an article about a hospice nurse who had sat down with 70 people, 80 people, 300 people for the last 3 weeks.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the 4th question is, if I quit today, have I fulfilled my purpose? Do I want to get up there and see St. Peter and say, you know, guys like Sharkey, they ain't worth it anymore? Bad answer, right?
It depends on the day. Yeah.
So I've got people to teach and train. That's kind of what I'm transitioning into. I'm letting some of the younger guys do more of the physical labor, physical blending. I still go out and scout out the new products. That's where, like this Sargassum seaweed that's down, it's a problem for the people down there in Mexico and the whole Caribbean.
The seaweed.
It washes up on the beach. Now you can't sell your resort time because
Oh,
people
yeah.
can't get to the beach.
Yeah.
Our approach is to harvest it while it's still out in the water so it's not contaminated with sand, so that we haven't lost any of the goodie, and to harvest that and turn that into a product for the agriculture that is very full of amino acids.
Mm-hmm.
It's very full of all 90 micronutrients that are out in the sea.
How do you get to combine in the ocean?
Use suction hoses. You kind of herd them like cats over here, and you take a suction hose and you bring it into modified dump trucks. Let the water back out so you can keep putting more in until you get it full. You go over and ferment it and take care of any of the heavy metals that are in there, turn them into organic sugars.
You ferment it, you might as well make booze out of it.
You can eat it. It'd make a salad.
Brad Forkner from Cherry, Illinois, a nutrient management specialist. Brad, I want to thank you for coming on the show.
I want you to open this up.
Oh, what is this?
That is aronia juice that I helped grow in Gropo,
I've had this before. How do
you got to take the little thing off.
Okay, all right. Oh, this is gonna.
So what we didn't talk about is 28 different crops, 15 different states. And
how do you get this thing off?
That little piece of foil?
No, what comes off?
The foil.
What heck, I'm really glad that didn't come off.
Yeah.
We're not wrapping up yet. Just
all right.
cut your, now what?
Now just open it and drink it.
Open what?
It's got a little valve on it.
Oh, this thing has to come off.
There you go.
Yeah. There we go. No. Okay, this is really ticking me off now.
Anyway, you do that. I'll tell them for the
there you
first
go.
time I'm growing potatoes in the state of Maine. When you get ready to eat your watermelons here for Memorial Weekend, I had nutrition on them. We started picking the watermelons, the honeydews,
all right, no
and
more
the
talking.
tomatoes last week.
Here we go. Cheers.
Cheers.
Oh, Lord.
Not as sweet as a blueberry. It's good for you.
It better be. Good. All right, catch everybody next time. If you enjoyed today's episode, be sure to explore more of our local content. You can connect with us on our social media platforms, visit our website, or download and watch the free PBS app. We can't wait to see you next time on A Shot of Ag.